What's up, guys? All right, so I got another Star Wars 3 3/4 inch figure for you today. We got this one right here, the 30th anniversary Shock Trooper. And he's a fairly common figure. You can find him just about anywhere. He's pretty good for, you know, troop building and that kind of thing, because he's not too expensive, but we'll go into price a little bit later. But you got a pretty standard clone trooper here. You got your coin, 30th anniversary packaging. Got on the back, you got some of the other figures here in the wave with, you know, Darth Vader and Yoda and R2-D2 and Grievous and Maul and all kinds of stuff. So, pretty common figure, not too difficult to find. You can find them all over eBay and Mercari and all kinds of stuff, either in or out of the packaging. I got this guy at a local shop here this weekend, but let's go ahead and crack this guy open and see what we've got. Alright, so we got him out of the package here real quick. As far as accessories go, pretty simple stuff. You know, he's got his coin here, and looks pretty cool. I don't really collect these or anything, but, you know, kind of cool little coin. And, of course, he's got his blaster. Other than that, not much to him. He does have this piece here on the back that does pop off if you wanted to. Little antenna there. And then we have the figure itself, which looks pretty cool. Articulation's pretty simple and basic. You know, he's got the ball joint arms. He can go up like that. He's got the single jointed elbows, single jointed knees right there. He's got rotation on the ankles, and then he can pivot just a little bit down like that. So pretty basic stuff. Then of course we've got that mid-torso articulation. Helmet doesn't come off. Oh, you see the antenna just popped off. We'll just move that to the side there. But we've got good detail in here. It's a pretty basic, you know, clone trooper here. There's not a lot to him, but he looks cool. And he works. Again, like I said, if you're into army building or something, this will be a good figure to go with, just because he's pretty easy to find and he's not too expensive. And he kind of fits the build, right? Like he basically fits what you would want your clone army to look like by and large. I know they've got that new one, the 501st Trooper that just came out. You can still pick him up pretty cheap right now. So if you want to do some army building, maybe some of these, maybe some of those, and you got a nice little assortment there. So pretty cool little figure there, and I think it works. It's going to be a nice little addition to my 3 3/4 inch Star Wars collection. So let's go ahead and throw up some comparisons and see how he stacks up. Alright, so we got them stacked up with a few other figures here from various eras of the 3 3/4 inch line. Of course, up front, we've got them with a couple other clone troopers. These are the new ones that just came out. These are both ARC troopers. We've got the Lambent Seeker, and I forget what the other one is called. And they're a little bit of an upgrade. They've got more armor, more guns, more options, backpacks, removable helmets, movable rangefinders, all that kind of stuff that this guy doesn't have. But I still think he works well with them. Then, of course, at the back, we got Mace Windu from the Vintage Collection. Then we've got the my animated Anakin Skywalker. And, of course, we've got the newest battle droid there on the left. And behind him, of course, we've got the original Phantom Menace battle droid with the STAP. I forget what that stands for. The little speeder cannon bike thing that the battle droids were riding when they were fighting the Gungans. And yeah, this guy just really works very well, I think, with this group of figures. Alright, so now to throw them up with some 5POA stuff from Star Wars Rebels. On the left, we've got a TIE Pilot and a Stormtrooper. And on the right, old school, actual vintage 1980s stuff, we've got a Snowtrooper and a Stormtrooper. And he looks pretty cool with these guys. Alright, so let's talk about price here real quick. And still in the package, you can usually find this guy for 15 to 20 bucks. And he's older, so you're not going to find him at retail, but eBay, local shops, Mercari, wherever, 15 to 20 bucks new in the package. And then sometimes it does depend a little bit on shipping. And then out of the package, you can usually find him for 10 bucks. Even sometimes I've seen him cheaper than that. I picked him up at my local comic shop. They had him for 20 bucks, but they were having a sale, and he was half off, so 10 bucks. If they had had more of these, they just had the one, I would have picked up the rest of them for 10 bucks a pop, absolutely, just to get a little army building going on there. So, the question is, at, you know, 10 to 15 to 20 bucks a pop, depending on whether you get them in the package or out of the package, is it worth it? Well, certainly it's worth it if you don't have one of these troopers in your collection. It's a cool figure, and outside of less articulation in the hips, he's got pretty much all the articulation you would want and you would get from a modern vintage collection figure, even though he's like 13 years old at this point. So yeah, it's definitely worth it for that. If you want an army build, is he worth it? Still, the answer is yes, because honestly, clone troopers get kind of expensive, especially ones that you can still get in the package. I mean, people love to army build these things, and people who sell them know that, and know people are willing to pay to get more of the same figure over and over and over again to set up a shelf full of clone troopers. And so the fact that you can get him still new in the package, even though he hasn't been around for over a decade, for 20 bucks or less, yeah, absolutely, it's worth it. And I really do like this figure. It's a really cool clone trooper. I like the fact that compared to some of the newer ones where they have the removable helmets, the head doesn't look too big, and I get it that the helmets aren't actually too big. That's what they would really look like. Putting it over a human head, they would be kind of big and bulbous looking. But this thing just kind of looks a little bit cooler because the head doesn't look so big on the body. And I kind of like that. And yeah, one area lacking articulation, but the paint's good, the sculpt's good, it's a cool little figure. It's going to look great on the shelf. I highly recommend it and say you should go out and get one if you don't already have one in your collection.